I'm back at Roddlesworth Woods, a very muddy Roddlesworth Wood. So let me get over to this little stone path over here. So yeah, the weather's been appalling around my area in the northwest. So this was the only break in the week where there was a bit of dry weather. I had to postpone a meeting with the good old Jason Jones and push that back a week or two, so that vlog will be coming. But I'm just heading down to the bridge and the waterfall, so we'll have a little look at that and see what autumn colours are falling. So I'll catch you when we get down there. Right, so as you can see, the first shot isn't in the little clearing with the gnarly roots and things that I always shoot when I'm here. But when it's autumn, when the autumn leaves start to fall, which they have here, it's always so vibrant. Probably give it another week or two and it'll be like a luminous orange colours, absolutely beautiful. But as you can see, I normally come down to the left hand side of the bridge, downstream, and we're going to go to the upstream bit in a minute. But I come down to this downstream section because there's these lovely oak trees on the other side with all the roots and all the sandstone in the foreground. So we've got some fallen orange leaves in the foreground. We've got the river running through, and then we've got these rooty trees. So there's two shots that I'm going to do from here. The first is the two oak trees. I'm going to frame them with the tree either side of the frame. The roots, the water running through, but as you can tell, the white water actually stops on the second tree and doesn't finish to the end of the frame. So to counter that, I can see that there is no white water on the right of frame, out of shot. I'm going to open up the shot slightly just to include a third tree that's on the right of frame. It's a bit of a skinny tree, but it's going to make everything look in symmetry, and that way we'll have the white water starting just in frame and ending just before the outer frame, and that's just going to balance the shot a bit more. I'll put the two shots on the screen and you can see what I mean. On the first shot you'll see the white water not reach the left hand side of the shot. The leaves are just looking beautiful, so I'll take these shots, put them on for you, and we'll move on to my favourite part, which is the roots going into the river. Unfortunately, the rain has started to fall. And I'm not prepared as I always am. I forgot the umbrella. So all the next shots are going to be under canopies of trees, just to try and get some sort of image out of this. But if I can just show you this shot, at different times of the year, mainly in about 2 weeks time, this is just going to be completely orange. It's so vibrant down here, orange and yellows and greens. It's absolutely beautiful. I'll put up a couple of shots on the screen now of what I captured last autumn. It's a little bit late this year. We're probably a week behind, week and a half, because this exact time last year was these type of pictures. Incredible, vibrant pictures. So as you can see, nothing like it is today. But the view I've got on screen now, so I've got all these mossy roots in the foreground, and then that's taken us just with a view up the stream with all that orange banking on the right hand side. So I'm going to try and emulate what I did a year ago. I don't know. And then I've seen the rivers, well, so this part that I'm actually sitting in now, after really, really heavy rainfall, if you're lucky enough to be here as it's raining, which I might be in the next hour or so, this river actually floods and comes around the rooty trees as well. I'm keeping the eye on the weather, and if I see that it's absolutely bucketing down next week when it's at the peak of colour, I'm going to come down with a brolly and a fishing brolly, get myself sat underneath it and just wait for a break in the rain and get that shot. So I'll stop waffling. I'm going to take a couple of shots from this composition, and then keep hearing noises in the trees, but there's nothing there. And then I'm going to just head up the stream a little bit, and there's some really nice little cascades. I'm going to get really low down and capture a cascade shot. So if all turns out well, I'll catch you up at the cascades. Right, so we're having to make our way up there, which I'll tell you now is slippy. So just have a quick look around. Is anyone looking? No. If I fall, no one's here to help or laugh at me. Probably they'll laugh at me a bit. Oh Jesus, right, mega slippy. I always find as well with rocks, look at me, look at all this cool banking here with the wall. It's just really beautiful. And you've got this gnarly tree on the other side. I've got a picture of that somewhere. If I find it, I'll stick it on. I always find though, when it's really slippy next to a river, you're best just getting into it. I find that I've got wellies on. The water's black, so I can't see what's underneath. But I do find, as I said, if you get into the river, it's only the surface rocks that are slippy. The actual water under the rocks under the water tend to be. Okay, this is where I fall in and break my neck. Right, so I'm going to park myself. I'm just going to get on one of these two ledges here, and we're going to photograph these little falls. Now I have photographed this before, and I will say I am really happy with that shot. If I find it, I'll put it on. It's buried in a hard drive somewhere, but if I find it, I'll put it on for you. It is, I really, really like it. So, I'll get set up. The leaves aren't as vibrant as they were on the last shot, but the falls, the little cascades are what's going to make this shot. I'm going to get really low in the water to emphasise the drop, and then we'll just have the river in the background going into nothingness. So I'll set it up and I'll show you what I'm looking at. Righty-ho. So, I'm balancing myself right on the edge of this little ledge. Yeah, but everything's working out perfect. So I've got a couple of test shots on the go. I've composed it so that the stream and the trees are tunneling down into the distance. You've got the little cascade that's coming in from the left hand side. You've got the main little cascade just to in like the left third of frame, and then everything else is taking you away back into the centre again. It's just a really beautiful composition. I found this a good year ago now, 18 months ago, and yeah, really, really happy with it. I could spend an hour just in this little spot, just trying to fine-tune your composition. I've been using different f-stops, so I've been on f11 to get the sharpness front to back right into the distance, and that's been giving me around a 3 to 4 second exposure time. But that's really washing the image out and giving it a really milky effect. I will put both images on at the end, the long exposure and then a shorter long exposure of around a third of a second, which I had to go down to 6.3 on the f-stop with that one, and that's brought it down to a third of a second, but there's more detail in and movement in the water, which is what I like. So the light is basically flat. It has been the whole trip. It was more of a scouting mission to see what the colour was like, because I will be coming back here next week, as I said, and especially after a heavy downpour, we'll get the roots being flooded around down there. But for now, little side note, I've only been using a polarizer just to take the sheen off the water, and then I've been adding a little bit of sheen back into it where I've wanted it. But no filters today. It's too overcast. I'm getting half a second and above, just using the polarizer. So, and with the rain as well, there's bits of rain coming and going. I haven't had to keep wiping filters and messing around, so that's good. So just been playing with the f-stop really for the different lengths of exposure. So I will put these two images on, the long one and the short one, exposure wise, and you can let me know in the comments which one you prefer. I think I prefer for a change, I think I prefer the long exposure of 4 seconds, because that's not like me, but I think I like it better. So I'll put them on and you can let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching also this week. It's been quite a bit of an ad hoc vlog. I've just shot out at the last minute because the weather's been that bad. I've just had to have a little window to shoot out. So thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you next week, hopefully in Wales. I'm heading to Norwich, so hopefully we'll have that one next week. Bye for now.